Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are taking a trip underground. We're tackling a topic that, for millions of homeowners, sits completely out of sight and out of mind.
The septic system.
Exactly. The humble yet incredibly essential septic system.
It really is the kind of thing you only think about when it's already too late. I mean, when it fails, it can turn a totally normal day into, well, a financial and environmental mess.
And that's really the core of this deep dive, isn't it?
Right.
Our sources lay out this compelling case for a simple rule of ownership. You either maintain it regularly or you pay for it later.
And that later bill is,
Yeah.
it's often a 5 or even 6-figure shock.
Right. Most people seem to treat septic problems like it's just bad luck. But our research shows the vast majority of these issues, they stem directly from neglect.
Yeah, from infrequent pumping or just harmful biological buildup inside the tank.
So our mission today is clear.
We're going to break down the real financial trajectory of that neglect. We'll start with the small stuff, the minor headaches, and scale all the way up to absolute system failure.
But we also want to arm you, the listener, with, the knowledge to prevent all this.
Exactly. We'll get into the specific maintenance tools and strategies that sources show homeowners are actually using right now to save thousands.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. Let's unpack this, starting with those costs that are, let's say, mildly inconvenient but signal deeper trouble.
The early warning signs.
Yeah, the smaller repairs that, if you ignore them, you're basically guaranteeing a bigger problem is coming. Leaks, soil contamination, all of it.
Exactly. These are the system's first cries for help, and the costs. They start adding up right away. For a minor line repair, just fixing a pipe connection, you're looking at maybe $150 to $500.
So about 12 to 40,000 rupees.
Right.
And what if it's not the pipe? What if the tank itself is compromised?
Then the price jumps.
Yeah.
If you've got broken components inside the tank, they're called baffles or actual cracks in the tank itself. That repair bill is more like $250 to $1,000.
Okay, hold on. Let's pause on baffles. I think for a lot of listeners who haven't, lifted their tank lid, what exactly is a baffle? Why is it so critical?
Good question. Baffles are basically just physical barriers. They're usually T-shaped pipes inside the tank, right at the inlet and outlet. Their entire job is to slow the water down.
Okay.
And, more importantly, they stop the solids, the heavy sludge on the bottom, and the scum on top from getting out of the tank and into the drain field.
I see. So if a baffle breaks.
All that solid waste rushes out, and you immediately start suffocating your system's entire filtration area. It's a huge problem.
Which makes the next cost you mentioned, drain field pipe repair, sound almost inevitable.
It is. If the problem spreads out there to the absorption field, now you're in the range of $500 to $1,500 to fix those pipes.
So up to around 120,000 rupees. And the root cause is almost always the same thing, right?
Always. It's sludge building up from not pumping the tank. The waste gets thick, reduces the tank's capacity, and then you add things that shouldn't be there, like grease or wipes, and you've got a recipe for failure.
So flushing grease is like literally writing a check for a $1,500 repair down the road.
Absolutely. And speaking of sudden bills, we have to talk about emergency pumping. This is the penalty for waiting too long.
The one that always hits on a holiday weekend, right?
Of course. So regular planned pumping. That usually costs between, say, $250 and $500.
Okay, pretty manageable.
But if you wait until the system is backing up and you need someone out there now, after hours, that cost immediately doubles. You're looking at $500 to $1,000.
So you're paying a premium just for the emergency. It's a crisis tax.
It is. And the emergency call happens because the sludge layer has been ignored for years. It reaches this dangerous threshold, and the system doesn't fail gradually. It just stops suddenly.
Let's move past that gradual decay and into the stuff that's truly disruptive. I'm talking about clogs, blockages. This is where it gets messy and expensive.
Clogs are often the step right before total failure. Clearing a simple drain clog in your house might be, $100 to $200?
Right.
But if that blockage is deep in the main line, you need professional gear. Full line jetting, that's high pressure water, costs anywhere from $300 to $700.
That's a huge jump. And I imagine they have to find the problem first, which isn't free.
No. A camera inspection to even locate the clog or check for a collapsed pipe, that's another $150 to $400 on top of everything else.
And the sources point to some specific causes here beyond just tree roots.
Oh, yeah. The main culprits are things we put in there. Grease that cools and hardens into a solid block. Or, and this is crucial, a big drop in the beneficial bacteria levels, which means the waste just isn't breaking down.
So the sludge just gets thicker and thicker until it plugs the outlet pipe.
Exactly. And that failure to break down waste, It leads us straight to the ultimate homeowner nightmare, the septic backup.
That moment when dirty water starts coming up through your toilet or your shower drain.
The financial shock really matches the emotional shock. Imagine sewage inside your house. For just a basic cleanup, you might get away with $200 to $600.
But that's if you're lucky.
Very lucky. If it soaks into the floors, the drywall. Full water damage restoration can run from $1,000 up to $10,000, or even more.
And if you don't clean it up immediately,
Then you get mold. And mold remediation is a whole other bill, another $500 to $5,000 easy.
the insight here from the sources, though, is that this is not an act of God.
No, not at all. These backups are caused by a full tank, a collapsed drain field, a grease block, and they are almost always 100% preventable.
Let's quickly touch on odors. You said they're a warning sign, not just an embarrassment. What are they telling us?
Odors are the smell of biological failure. A healthy tank needs oxygen and what are called aerobic bacteria. When the tank gets overloaded with sludge, the oxygen disappears.
And something else takes over.
Right, anaerobic bacteria, which don't need oxygen. The byproduct of their process is sulfur gas, that rotten egg smell. So that smell means your system's little biological engine is suffocating.
And just diagnosing that costs money.
Yep. An inspection just to figure out that imbalance can run from $100 to $1,000.
Okay, we've walked through the inconveniences, the nightmares, but there is one repair that just dwarfs all of them.
The big one,
The one that represents total, catastrophic failure from years of complete neglect.
that would be the full drain field replacement. This is, without a doubt, the single most expensive fix a homeowner can face. It happens when the drain field is just going. Saturated, blocked, collapsed, beyond repair.
Let's define the scale of this damage, because this is where the numbers get genuinely terrifying.
For a standard basic drain field replacement, and this involves digging up a huge part of your yard, you are looking at $5,000 to $15,000.
Wow.
But if your property has poor soil or local rules require a more advanced engineered system, that cost can explode. We're talking $15,000 to $40,000,
Yeah.
sometimes more.
$40,000. That's a price of a new car. A nice one. And it all traces back to what we said earlier, right? Sludge getting into the field year after year.
It connects every single failure. Infrequent pumping, flushing grease, killing the good bacteria. It all leads to this one final massive price tag. And the disruption is just immense.
So when you put it all side by side, the math of prevention versus cure it's just staggering.
It's the simplest equation in homeownership. Ignoring your system, worst case, is going to cost you anywhere from $500 to $10,000, and that's not including the $40,000 drain field.
That's the cost of reacting. So what's the cost of being proactive?
Proper maintenance, pumping every few years, an occasional inspection. When you average it out, your yearly cost is about $100 to $250 per year.
So for less than the cost of one emergency call out, you could cover maintenance for 4 or 5 years. It's one of the highest return investments you can make in your house.
Absolutely. And this is where supportive tools come in. The sources show a lot of homeowners are now using biological additives to help manage that sludge.
Right, so how should people think about these tools? What are they actually doing in the tank?
They're maintenance support, not a magic bullet. They don't replace pumping. Their job is biological.
Okay.
A healthy tank needs two things: oxygen and good microbes. So products like the one in our sources are designed to do just that. First, they release oxygen into the tank. Second, they add a massive dose of specialized healthy bacteria.
So it's like a powerful probiotic for your septic system.
That's a perfect analogy. You're restoring the healthy gut flora of the system. More oxygen and more good bacteria means the waste breaks down faster.
And that reduces the dangerous sludge formation.
Exactly. Keeps the system more liquid, stops solids from getting out, and it also helps get rid of those odors we talked about.
So the goal is just better overall systemic health, which hopefully extends the time between professional pumping.
That's it. Proactive care reduces the stress on the whole system, and it stops that devastating chain reaction from a minor issue to a total collapse.
This has been incredibly clear. I mean, the takeaway is that bad maintenance isn't just expensive, it is in almost every way avoidable.
Completely. If you end up with a $20,000 septic bill, it wasn't a sudden accident. It was the result of a decade of small, neglected actions.
So consistent care, paying attention to the early signs like slow drains, and using proactive steps can literally save you tens of thousands of dollars.
And add decades to the life of your system.
It really is all about what you allow into that system.
Which leads to a final provocative thought for you to consider. Given that the health of your entire septic system hinges on oxygen and a stable population of healthy bacteria, how aware are you, really, of what you're sending down the drain? Those harsh cleaning chemicals, bleach, disinfectants, you could be waging a chemical war on that essential bacterial balance, creating a biological desert in your tank.
And directly causing the very problems we just spent this whole deep dive detailing.
Exactly. The fate of your $40,000 drain field might actually be decided by what's in your cleaning cabinet right now.